All right, traders, hello, and I hope everyone's having a fantastic weekend and that your trading week went well too. So if you haven't checked out already, Connor and I, we went over a couple of ideas for next week. We both sort of swing trade the 4 hour and the daily chart. So I do sometimes enter on the 1 hourly, and I use the sort of the 4 hour as a bit of a guide on direction and things like that. So what I've got up here is the USD CAD. So we talked about this trade as a potential sell for next week. So not a Monday entry. Monday, again, what I'd like to see is a bit of a bounce, to be honest, and then or sideways. Just nothing spectacular. I don't want it falling more. If it falls more, then to me, it's getting a little bit oversold, and it could get a little wild. So, but it's interesting. The jobs data that came out and whatnot didn't really affect this. It closed, as you can see, very weak on the daily chart. I'm just going to have some water here as well. Now today's been good. I've had the weekend off. Just been dialing in, just reading a lot of stuff and back testing and things like that. I might do some more back testing on the 1 hour with the trend trading sort of system. Now this is interesting. So this is not my primary trading system, which is like a breakout strategy on a trend. So for example, just looking like something like that is like a gold standard. So that candle there would be a good entry. The stop would be set at the 55. Where is the 55? It's not there. Man, I got a lot of. Probably let's get rid of this 110. I don't use the 110. I think this is an older sort of chart where I was using the 200, the 110, and the 55. But I just use the 200 and the 55 SMA. What am I doing? Trend, moving averages. 55 in red. Okay, so this is interesting. So it's not a trend, to be honest. So what I mean is it's not a downtrend because the 55 is above the 200. So I like to use objective markers when I'm doing this. So the less emotion and feeling you have, for me personally, is better. So, it's interesting. Where would I put the stop? And I'd evaluate that on the Tuesday. If it sort of just holds sideways, does very little, and we'd sort of see. But it might be above the high of this candle. That would be a potential. So the high of that candle is 1.3. You nearly call it 3.5. 3.5 on the nose. So that would be sort of where I would put it, based on, and the entry would be at the low of the candle. So that's what I'm potentially looking at. And another one of interest is we could probably say the Aussie dollar is also a bit of a point of interest. It is very interesting though. What I'd like to see is how it interacts with this zone here. If it encounters some resistance, and then this would be more of a range sort of entry. So I'm open to a few more things. So it's about 3 weeks now into the prop firm probationary period. Have my trades been spectacular? They could have been a lot better. I was Aussie yen short and gold long, and I got out super early. So, and I didn't follow the rules really, to be honest. I got a little bit too focused on capturing some profit. And what I am working on is meditation, and I'm working on a bit of brain training just to help detach me from the charts a little bit. Because 2017 was pretty good for my system. It was demo trading though, and then 2018 was, I think I was up about 2.5% for the year, and I'm not running away from that. It was different. Live trading it's more once you're in a winning position, you following the rules is key for me. So I think that I guess the uncertainty factor does affect me a little bit. But I just need to follow the rules because the Aussie yen was really nice. I mean, that was a 5% trade. And for me, that's what they're looking for as well with the prop firms. So I sort of have to put in my mind, if I'm managing, like $20 million, I've got to be calm. I've got to be picky. And the Aussie yen was good, and gold was pretty good, and I just have to ride the trend. I can't sort of be like getting in and out because a lot of these nice moves don't happen as much. So I need to be aware of that, and I sort of lost track of things. And got a little bit too keen to close the trade out. So bad trading. Bad trading is what that is. Like you're winning, but it's bad trading as well. Okay, so Aussie yen. I want to see how it bounces off the 71.30 level. Short bias. I'm short bias on the Aussie dollar, just in general from a fundamental perspective as well. Housing data is not good. Obviously Sydney Mel was always going to come down very aggressively because it was running ridiculously hot. So and Perth's down as well, but that was going to happen too. I own a home in Perth. I live in Perth, so I sort of bought when things were a little healthy. So I've got skin in the game here. I can attest to you and tell you that if you're watching this from another country, the Australian property market is not so healthy, and a lot of people have interest-only loans as well. For me, I didn't, over leverage or anything, so it's okay. But and there's there's another thing going on as well. So my background is actually in sports science. I went on and did a postgraduate in strength and conditioning. So I might be moving to China this year as well to work with the Chinese Olympic team. I brought this up a while ago, and it's been on the back burner, but they've continued to persist with me. And I have some time off for long service with Qantas in February. So I'm going to try and sync it there because I want a backup plan. Because I'm hearing a lot of mixed things about China in regards to, they're detaining Canadians, they're detaining Americans. Things aren't so great in regards to their feelings on Western countries, it seems. But, I'm Australian. I don't think we've pissed China off too much. So I'm going to see if they agree to, because I'm getting the visa probably next week. Probably like Wednesday, I'm going to get the visa to go in. So I'm going to have to extend it out somehow 5 weeks. So that's also been going on. I've been managing that, which has probably affected me psychologically a little bit because I really do want to go over, but I don't want to go over with no backup plan. Like I don't want to quit my job really, Qantas, because it's actually it's good in regards to it's a little more independent what I do there, and I can trade. Because I'm not a scalper. I don't really enjoy being in the charts all the time. For me to be a scalper, I'd have to get much better internet. I'd have to get a much better computer. The broker would have to improve because I get a lot of lag as well when I trade the 1 minute. So I wouldn't really, I'm not really in a position right now. And the swing trading is what I've always done. So I feel last year was a little disappointing, but that's because I didn't follow the rules. So, and I am looking to eventually take this to an institutional level, where like a hedge fund, I'd be happy to work for someone like that, and that would be fine. But this is also involved. Like, can I trade from China? I've done the research. I'd have to get a VPN or a VPS, and I can. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a work in progress. Like I've sort of given them my terms, and I'm waiting to hear back from them if they want to wait that extra 5 weeks or. It's been a long drawn out process already, just with everything jumping through the hoops. So there's that as well. But sorry, back to trading. Aussie dollar short, and what was the previous one? USD CAD short. Let's have a look at now the Aussie Kiwi actually as a breakout too. So Aussie Kiwi as a long potentially is what I'm looking at as well. So this is like early stages breakout. This is sort of, we've seen a lot. What would have happened there is a lot of stops would have been taken out, and we could see a nice little run here. There's a bit of space to the left as well. I don't mind this, to be honest. Man, look at that wick. That is unreal. And a lot of people would have probably been playing this bounce here. So the thing was that this happened was this lower liquidity going on. And, the bots just did a lot of pain causing. Anyway, so Oz Kiwi is another possibility. Gold. We'll have a look at gold and see what it's doing. Bit of a longer video, but I do the longer videos on the weekend because most people are a bit, they have a little more free time or whatever. I'm gonna sip this water a little bit. Woke up. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I wake up, with the bad headache, with the hay fever and everything. So That happened today, which is unfortunate. Yeah, gold. Interesting. It does these sort of candles, and that'd be frustrating if you were trailing that, and so I'm not going to probably trade gold. The position on gold was I should be holding that. The punishment is I can't just sort of just chase this. That's inappropriate. Because psychologically, I'm not in a clear state of mind when I've traded, I butchered the trade, I'm getting in again. I'm unsteady. I just don't like it. It's a personal preference. And Aussie yen, let's see what Aussie yen is doing. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. So Oz Kiwi long, Oz US short, USD CAD short, USD yen. This video is sort of a blowout now. It's a blowout. That's all right. And thank you. I've noticed that there's a little jump in subscriptions, and I appreciate that, everyone. The channel is pretty much essentially Forex based right now. I'm learning about options. I've done stock trading as well. The reason why I'm not so interested in stock trading is there's quite a few expenses associated with things, and it demands, especially US equities. So the ASX is not something that interests me, honestly, for day trading. It's swing trading. It's just too boring, and it just doesn't move enough. There's not enough volume. So US equities, it sort of forces me to be at the computer at a certain time, and I just don't enjoy it. I really don't. I do a lot of other things, and I'm like a lazy trader. I don't want to be demanded to be in front of the computer. I want to be trading when I want to trade. That's why swing trading is a lot better, because you sort of demand the market to present itself with best trading setups. You don't have to be checking all the time at all. You just, and that's what trading's about. It's about not being frantic, and it's just, if you like to day trade, you can day trade. I've learned sort of how to day trade. It's just you just have to have really the evenings free, and I don't have the evenings free all the time. So it just got a little bit too, it ended up being I would sleep for like 3 hours a night, which is not good for your health. Now, USD yen is interesting. It's in a bit of a no man's land scenario. I'm not going to touch that for now unless it really rallies and bounces off that level, or yeah, I'm not going to touch that. That's the entry really was around here, so no go. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Apologies for the longer video, but had a few things to talk about. So thanks, guys. Have a great weekend, rest of the weekend, and bye for now.